All right, so my name is Drew Meyer, and I handle product marketing for Amazon's Web Services storage portfolio. Big deal. Who's heard of S3? All right, did you like it? All right. So Amazon Web Services is a part of a little company called Amazon that came to Santa Cruz about a year ago. And Amazon is here in this building on the second or the third floor. We started off fourth floor, excuse me, we're on the third floor. I've got to be careful what slips out here, right? So the fourth floor is where we are now. We have most of that floor, and we started off in the incubator across the street, next space. And we know a bunch of you guys from that time period. Amazon's here because of the talent pool that exists in Santa Cruz. That's you guys. Because of the federal funding and the brain trust that sits up there on the hill in the university. Because of the access to capital through the fantastic venture capital partners that exist here on the Central Coast. And because of the quality of life, the climate, the surfing, the ability to do what you want to do in your spare time. That's an extraordinary combination of things, which is why we're investing here to keep people from doing that mind-numbing commute. I'm a 15-year veteran, I'm raising my family here. I've got 2 twin little boys, 3 years old. I don't have time for commutes. And I want to live here and do my job. And so what we did is invest here. Now, what does that look like? Amazon Marketplace. If you're a seller at Amazon, we have a mobile development team that builds for Android and iOS, and they sit up there on the 4th floor. We are hiring like mad. If you have those skills, please come talk to us. We also invested up there with Amazon Web Services. That's the part of the company that I work for. You guys have heard of this, right? That's why you're here in the room. I'm not going to ramble on about it. We've got a bunch of better qualified folks who are actually living and breathing this that are going to tell the story for us tonight. AWS has 3 or 4 people that are actually based on this side of the hill that work out of this office. We're really excited because we think we're changing the world. Customers tell us they like this stuff. It doesn't matter. It's what customers are doing that matters. Changing the world is not up to me, it's up to the applications, and you'll see those tonight. So we're excited to have that happening, and we believe that we're trying to help with this nexus of wonderful things that's happening here in Santa Cruz. And finally, we don't expect to stop there. There are more opportunities, and we do expect to add additional stuff here. We are growing, we are invested in this community and continuing to spend our money and time here with Santa Cruz. And so if you want to be a part of that, in addition to all the wonderful folks out here who are building stuff hands-on in a different sort of a scale, then come and look at Amazon.jobs and join the machine that is Amazon. Of course, like in every meeting I'm always in. Yeah, it could be the kids. No. So, with that said, I want to hand it over. So we've got a couple of folks who drove all the way down from San Francisco to be with us at the meetup tonight. We have a team of folks specifically dedicated to helping startups get off the ground using our platform technologies. Hey, AWS team, throw up your hands. Let's see some names and faces. We've got a table sitting back there. Folks that live in this and breathe in this office every day, and folks that came down to help tell the story. So if you have questions and want to understand how that works, go visit us afterwards, talk to us about job opportunities, but more importantly about how we can make you more successful. And to tell us more about that, I want to hand it over to Rich, who's one of our solutions architects, who just flew up from Southern California to address this fantastic group this evening. Rich, thank you.
Thanks, Drew. Just going to switch to my presentation deck, which is around 400 slides. It's going to take about 2.5 hours. That was a requirement for this night, right? Give me a moment. All right, so as mentioned, my name is Rich, and I have one of the best jobs at Amazon Web Services. I'm a solutions architect. That means I get to put on a propeller hat every day, go and draw on whiteboards with some of the best, biggest, and newest startups on the planet. My team specifically works with startups in the Americas, so Canada and US. You might notice a small Canadian accent. I haven't been able to kick it yet. I apologize now, so no doubt about it. A culture of startups starts here. Amazon Web Services has been servicing startups since the beginning. We service hundreds of thousands of customers in 190 countries, and a big percentage of those are startups. How many startups here today, founders? How many people looking to invest in startups today? Founders, look around, see the hands that are up, please go talk to them. You might recognize some of these startups running on top of Amazon Web Services. They choose to do this because we are a customer-centric company. This is something that's embedded into Amazon. where we talk to our customers and understand what they need. And we develop and build services around that. And to prove that, you can just take a look at our What's New page on all the features, functions, and services that we've added to the platform. In 2009, we added 48 new features, functions, and services, and we thought that was pretty good. Fast forward to 2015, 722 new features, functions, and services. And this year, we're on track to beat this number again. This is a pace of innovation that is really hard to match. I hope, as a startup, you're thinking about matching this type of innovation in terms of pace. Is anybody hoping to do that? Awesome. And how you can do that is using cloud services. Gone are the days of having to swap out hard drives and servers, which is where I started my career on. Gone are the days of configuring routers and switches. Gone are the days of arguing with your telco provider or your co-location provider on contracts. Amazon Web Services provides all of these things in a few clicks. Here's a great example of how a customer of ours, Oscar, has used Amazon Web Services to enable their developers to build new applications. So you take the primitives of Amazon Web Services and throw them together and deploy your app, right? That's what we all hope. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is give our developers as much power as they can have to be able to build features and functions for your customers and make it awesome end user experience. So we've got some tools that live above and beyond just the primitive building blocks that allow you to get to market quicker and faster. AWS Elastic Beanstalk is probably the #1 tool I mentioned to startups for standing up scalable, highly available stacks for almost any language that you can write code in today. Web servers, workers, based on queues, lots of options with Elastic Beanstalk. So if you're thinking about needing to get services in place to run your application in the cloud, show your developers Elastic Beanstalk and the awesome EB CLI tool that they can install right on their desktop and deploy to the cloud in minutes. With AWS Mobile Hub, mobile first is faster than it's ever been. So if you're not familiar with AWS Mobile Hub, basically it's a tool that allows you to go through a wizard, answer a few different questions on the types of backend services you need for your mobile application, and then press go, and about 10 minutes later, you get some scaffolding code that you cut and paste into your iOS or Android app, including backend services. So push notifications, user authentication, access and authorization, custom backend services that then use serverless architecture on the backend in a few clicks, and the code to deploy an application right onto your test phone right away. Very cool stuff. We love our startups, and we try to showcase you guys as much as we can. So if you are a startup and you are looking to launch, come and talk to us. At reInvent, we like to host an event that allows startups to launch their product at reInvent. reInvent, if you haven't been, is a tech-focused conference. Lots of deep technical learnings for all sorts of different types of use cases, workloads, and customer adoption. And we like to bring customers to speak at these events. It's not just us speaking to you. AWS Activate is why we're here tonight. If you're a startup and you need some help on AWS, Activate is the place to start. It's a program that we've developed that provides training. In some cases, it provides credits for using the platform. One-on-one office consultation hours with both business development managers that are ex-entrepreneurs, as well as technical folks like me and my team. Putting together an AWS startup community to allow you to work with other people that are using AWS as their backend for their startup. Some special offers from our partners and third-party vendors that have built software that runs really well on top of AWS. And access to AWS support for those 3 a.m. Calls when the alert system goes off, which we hope none of us have. A couple of different packages are available. Please come and see us after if you'd like to hear a little bit more about these types of packages. If you're a bootstrap startup, you can sign up for Activate today, aws.amazon.com/activate. Take a look at the self-starter package. There's some benefits right off the bat you can get from that. And that's it. So what's next? If you have questions, my email address is up here. I'm also here with my colleague, Jamil and Omar at the back. They're more on the business side. They can help you with account setup, questions around pricing, those types of things. So take down our emails. Feel free to come and chat with us in the back.
Great.
And enough about us. Let's hear about some customers using the platform.
We're going to actually take some questions real quick. The first one is, what would it take to relocate reInvent conference here in Santa Cruz?
20,000 people.
I'm going to let the marketing.
20,000, no problem. I think there are at least that many at the Bernie's.
Who here remembers Comdex? I mean, it's okay, but you can raise your hand.
It's that
Yeah,
guy.
it's becoming. This is hard. When you work for Amazon, we don't like to toot our own horn. I mean, the press folks in here are sick of me telling them that. It is rapidly becoming the standard for industry, for technology. And if you are at all interested, talk to us. Get on the platform up there as a startup. You wouldn't believe how small the companies you think would never have access to a multinational, extremely well-funded, stunning portfolio of venture capitalists and technologists. So go to reInvent.
Great.
Write it off.
Questions?